One little hype train might be getting off the rails down in Texas. I don't know. How much are they spending on this roster? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. Kirk Bohls of the Houston Chronicle came out with a report. According to sources, the Texas Longhorns are going to be spending $35 to $45 million on their roster for this upcoming season, which also includes the revenue sharing. Like, what are you trying to do, New York Yankees? What's going on here?
I don't believe you. That seems like a ridiculous amount of money, and I've seen Texas fans refute it, but at the same time, it's just funny that we've automatically now gone into, Texas is about to spend a lot of money to get, win themselves a championship. They're going to go out there and do what Ohio State did and just throw a whole bunch of money out there. You know what's funny? As I read that and saw this article or whatnot, Texas, they spent a lot of money in the portal. You know how many defensive linemen they picked up in the portal just here in the spring?
5.
That's a lot of defensive linemen to go pick up. And they're all over 300 pounds. So they're all interior guys. Obviously, they have zero faith in their young players that they have there. If they went and got 5 of these dudes, that's a lot to bring in, especially as good as of recruiting as Texas did. Like, I'm wondering where Justice Terry is going to be. I figured he'd be, a starter next year. He's a massive 5-star, but that is a lot of money. That's a lot. That's a lot of money, and I think it's way more ridiculous because once revenue sharing kicks in and they start to quote unquote regulate have the clearinghouse for NIL, ain't no way they're gonna be able to pay all those kids all that money. It's gonna be no way because there's no marketing deals that these boosters are gonna be able to put together to get them out there and make it make sense to spend an additional $2 million on a kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what's crazy about this is it seems believable because Texas is that desperate for a title that they feel like they got to spend their way to the top. And when I said something along those lines that, hey, when they don't win a national title this year, Texas boosters are going to be pissed. That's when Texas fans came to me like, that's not true. We don't believe Kirk Bohls. He's not really reliable. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect that some Texas donors out there are like, no, we're going to do what we got to do. And they're going to write the checks they got to write just so that they can hang that national championship poster or hope to hang a national championship poster in their, rec room or whatever. To me, it seems a little bit different than Ohio State. Like Ohio State was kind of a few players away, and like they had a really, really good roster to begin with and then added a few pieces here and there. Texas had a lot of turnover. They had a lot of areas that they had to address this year. And do they have great talent? Yeah, absolutely. Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill Jr. are fantastic talents. Arch Manning has a chance to be really, really good. They've got some young pieces on that team that are going to be good. It's just they're not ready to go win right now, in my opinion. But there's all these expectations out there for Texas to go win right now. And when they don't, Austin is going to be set ablaze in the message boards, on social media, in the comment sections, when Texas doesn't meet those expectations. I think they have a chance to be good, and the schedule gives them an opportunity to be maybe a little bit better than I expect. But I think putting them in these national title conversations right now feels a little premature. And I'm not even sitting here saying you should put Oklahoma in a national title conversation. Don't mistake what I'm saying here. It's just expecting them to go be better than what they were last year, when that team honestly was probably the best team of the Sark era and they couldn't make it to the national title game. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not either, just because of how much they lost. I mean, that defense lost a lot. I mean, you still got Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill, Malik Muhammad, right? You still got a pretty good, set of players there, but there's a lot that was gone. And I'm still, if you had to replace your entire interior, in which I'd say Watson was a huge pickup for them on defensive line. I know Oklahoma was gonna consider, making a swing at him when the David Stone situation went down, but he was a freshman All-American, and we all know that Elijah Robinson up there at Syracuse can recruit. I mean, he came from Texas A&M. He had a bunch of 5-stars there. That Shamar Stewart ended up getting drafted in the first round, and that was one of his boys. So we know that E-Rob is really good at recruiting, and unfortunately, him losing such a good, talented player, that's more of a Syracuse thing than anything. But in Texas picking him up, we know they got some talented guys that they picked up out of the portal, but at the same time, bringing in a whole bunch of new dudes. I'll give him a year, especially because Watson is he'll be a true sophomore. 26 could be a different story, especially if they convince Arch to stick around one more year and just play a senior year.
Yeah.
They could totally be a problem in 26.
Which I don't think that they're going to have to do much to convince him, actually. I think he's going to want multiple years of starting experience. And, I mean, Peyton played, 5 years? Eli played through his senior year. It just seems like that's kind of what they value is playing a lot. And they're going to know those snaps, those reps that you get at the collegiate level are valuable. Those guys had a ton of snaps at the collegiate level before they turned pro. 1 year, I mean, could he go 1 year, set the world on fire, and then go be the number one overall pick? Absolutely. But it'll also depend on who's the number one, the team that's going to be picking number one. Otherwise, they might have to pull another Eli again because Arch ain't going to the Browns. There's no way the Manning family is going to let him go to the Browns. I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen. Yeah. So I think it's a greater than likely chance that Arch returns for 2026 just because and Texas fans think that too. And not just not the unreasonable ones, like the ones that you can have a conversation with and actually like talk about football. Like those people actually think that Arch will be back. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But for Texas as a whole, I just don't think that this is going to be the year, but hey, you never know, man. College football is very unpredictable. This very well could be the year. They could go and put it all together, and Arch could have been the missing piece all along.
Yeah.
I just want to see I just want to see him do it first. I want to see them beat Ohio State before I'm ready to crown them a national title contenders. And that's the same for Oklahoma. I want to see them not just even beat Michigan. I want to see them beat Michigan and Auburn and go beat Texas. And if they do all that, then I'll start to believe that, they could actually go compete for a national title or compete for an SEC title or a playoff spot at the very least. If they can go and accomplish all that, start the season, 6-0, then I'll start to believe in Oklahoma as a contender. Or would it be 7-0? I guess it'd be 7-0.
7-0.
If they get to that point, I'll start to believe. But
I agree.
I mean, 2023, they got to that point, and then what happened? Barely got by UCF, and then we lost to Kansas and Oklahoma State. So, it's one of those things like you can, as soon as you start to believe, you can get your hopes crushed. So, anyway.
So I guess the question from that is...
Final thing, I think Texas is going to spend big on their roster because their donors have the money and they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're going to flex. They're going to flex the dollars. They have to, right? And I know that we probably should start using some of these donations that we're seeing flying in like every day. It seems like there's a new $1 million donation coming in from a family or something like that. We probably need to find a way to circumvent some of that, get it, steered right into the NIL of just football and get some football stuff going. But I mean, we've got it for football. We got it for basketball. We got a lot of money floating around here and we can do it. I guess Nagy now, the other unfortunate thing with having a person of Nagy's caliber is he's going to focus on going after the guys that make the most sense. And because of that, you probably won't spend big on some of these 5-stars. Going to be like, I don't know if that's an NFL caliber kid. Just is what it is.
Yeah.
Or we'll probably live more in the portal on dudes that are actually showing us actual play, actual film, and actual traits of someone that could translate rather than really focusing on a lot of the high school talent. So if you see us going into the portal for young talent, that's probably Nagy saying, I don't really like many kids in this upcoming high school class.
Yeah, that could very well be a thing. Hey, and since we're on the subject of talking about teams that we hate, what did you think of Lincoln Riley and USC finally getting rid of Benny Wiley?
That's still the funniest thing in the world to me. I know Sooner fans were having a blast with it. I'm looking on social media, just cracking up, like, yeah, y'all are really out here losing your minds on it. Which I get it. Everybody hated the dude and felt like he was kind of the cause. Now, granted, a lot of people are blaming Schmitty today for other things out there. So, that's neither here nor there. Either you want him to be tough or you don't want him to be tough. Make your decision. And we have a lot of physicality when healthy. So what we need to do is continue to keep showing physicality and go out there and just hopefully be healthy and make it happen. So, congratulations, USC. You may actually now ascend to be something special next couple of years.
I just thought it was funny that people are praising Lincoln Riley for a move that he should have made 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
It's kind of
if your 401k is tanking for 6 years and you don't make any changes to that, you don't get praise for it. You need to be asking the question, why didn't you make a change sooner? And listen, so I found that funny, and well-respected people in sports media were trying to applaud Lincoln Riley for making the move. And I'm like, dude, this is way too late. His reputation has already been sullied because they don't have a team that is considered tough. That's the Lincoln Riley reputation right now. But anyway,
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Any other teams that you want us to talk about here on Locked On Sooners? Make sure you let us know in the comment section. We'd love to hit on your favorite team to hate on. We got to talk about Mizzou at some point. We'll talk about Mizzou at some point. We'll talk about how Oklahoma State misses Oklahoma at some point. And, we'll just bury all the Big 12 teams eventually because they really want Oklahoma back, but it's not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button and that notification button to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams. You can read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner. Oh, don't worry. We're about to roast all of y'all this off season just for the fun of it.